Hi everyone! Okay, today I'm going to make an old favourite. So today I'm going to be making Inches Lane soap, and this is a very medicinal sort of a blend, and it's based on an old medicine cabinet that my grandma used to have when we lived in Inches Lane. So it's just an area of where I live here, and it was like the back lane was called Inches Lane, and it was just the best house ever. So in the little medicine cabinet, it just used to have, like, you know, things like band-aids and creams for cuts and TCP and things like that. So it had this like very medicinal smell, you know, like a first aid box, just it's got that smell. So I created this years ago based on, it was like a pea green little box with like chicken wire on the front, and she kept all of the medicines and things like that inside of it. So I wanted to recreate the scent, so I did years ago. I mean, we're going back to when I first started, so it's here. Cheers. So in this we have Spanish rosemary essential oil, eucalyptus essential oil, and that's an Australian blue gum, lemon essential oil, pine essential oil, and a very, very small bit of patchouli, just to bring it some kind of earthiness, because the cabinet used to smell sort of old, you know. It's just wonderful. So also in this I'm going to use some poppy seeds. I'm making it exactly the same as I used to years ago. So I'm using some blue poppy seeds in a white base, and then for colour, for the swirl, I'm using some charcoal and some ultramarine blue together, and I might need to adjust that depending on what colour I get, but normally I want like a really deep navy blue. I should have really used a pea green, but it's always been navy blue with the blue poppy seeds and the white base. So on the top I'm going to do like a flippy wavy top like I used to years ago. So stay tuned and we will get moving with this. Okay, so I'm going to pour my lye into my bucket of oils here, and I'm going to stick blend it to a light emulsification stage, and then pour some off for the colours. So I can bring you in, I guess, so you can see this process. I don't normally, so colour yourself privileged. Okay, so the lye water is in there, and I'm just going to stick blend that to a trace, or emulsification like I said, sorry. So I've already got my powders in here for my blue. So I'm just going to pour about a jugful. I'll stick blend this in a little while. Excuse me. Okay, now I'll just put that to the side a second. Now I've got to take my white and pop that into here. Before I stick blend, I'm going to give that a little stir, because the patchouli settled in the bottom a little bit. I'm just going to put in some, so you can kind of do this by eye, but a little bit in there. And this does not accelerate, it's a very good blend of essential oils which do not accelerate trace or your soap butter in any way at all. So I'm just going to stick blend this white, and I'll chop this bit out because you can't see in here anyway. Okay, then into my white I'm going to put my poppy seeds, and I'm just going to stir those in, and then pop that to the side and stick blend that blue and that black to get that navy blue colour. Gently. Just going to leave that, take it off to the power, and then just use this spatula to just take off most of that soap. This smells so nice. If you're one of those people that likes the scent of chemists, you'll like this. There's just something about going into Boots here in the UK. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so let me just wipe my side because I made a big mess as usual. I'm going to pour in the white first into 2 moulds, like so. I'll just bring you in a bit so you can see this process a bit closer. Okay, so in goes the white with the poppy seeds. So sort of like a slightly exfoliating bar, but not too harsh because the poppy seeds are sort of, they're not too bad on the skin. Ooh. Now for the blue. It's a really inky blue colour. It's really, really nice. So we're doing sort of like a drop swirl, and then I shall swirl it a bit with the chopstick. I used to just do a drop swirl with this soap, but I'm not going to, because it looks a little bit better if you swirl it with a chopstick rather than just doing a drop swirl. Chopstick in on its side like that. And then just going to go over the top like this, and then we'll swirl it in and peak the top. Oh, this is nice to be doing this. I haven't made this in so long. I can't even remember the last time I made it. But it's very, very nice. Especially if you're feeling under the weather, if you suffer with hay fever or you get a cold in the summer, like this is a really nice blend. It's kind of wintry, like it's something that I would normally make in the winter just because, you know, winter is normally cold season, but we do get some colds. And I just fancied making it because it's been so long. Lovely colour. So I'm going to swirl it in just slightly, and then we're going to have to wait for it to set up so I can do the peaked top. So I'm just going to do this. Over the top, try and drag a bit of that down. You can see my recipe comes right to the top of the mould. And that's usually because when I do the other topping that I do, I've got plenty to play with to bring it over the soap, so that's why. Okie dokie. So I'll leave that for a sec, and I'll be back to do the peak top in a moment. Okay, I think we're just about ready to peak this. So, yeah, there we go. Perfect. Oh, I haven't had one like that for a long time. That sounds rude. Oh, that's nice though, look at it. I mean, like it's standing up by itself. Oh, perfect. I'm smiling inside and outside. Oh, it's so nice. It's like a stick of rock. Oof. So I left that for around 5 to 7 minutes before I came back to do this. And again, I'm working with a water discount of about 40%. So I take about 40% of the water out of the recipe. That is what that means. Oh Lord, this is so nice and it smells so good. I cannot wait to actually have a bar of this for myself at home. Blue is so good. Okay, in there. Okay, oh lordy, it looks so nice. Okay, it's not usually that I'm that chuffed with my soap, but oh god, that's so good. Okay, I'll see you for the cut. Okay, hello again. We shall cut Inches Lane. Hey, that rhymes. That rhymes. Okay, let's cut one of these. They're both, oh my lord, the peaks, honestly, the peaks are so good. I don't know if I can get close enough. I don't think I can because it's in focus back here, but I'll put up some close-up shots of the peaks on top of this soap because they are just so nice. So I need to be careful how I unmould this so I don't break any of them. So this weekend, it's now Sunday, and we've just been out this morning with the doggy for a bit, and there's a piece of wasteland where we're walking at the moment that's supposedly going to be houses. Yet more houses, but at the moment the houses are not being built, so there's all this wasteland. So me and Matt, because our town used to have an old abbey here, you would think that across all the ground in the middle of the town, which is where the abbey was, there would be loads of shards of pottery, but in this particular spot where you really would expect there to be lots of it, there's hardly any. There's hardly any. It's really weird. You know, me and Matt, because he's a potter, we go on our walks usually. So this is the thing about social distancing. We've always social distanced because we're a couple of weirdos, and we go out looking for shards in the, you know, the crops of the surrounding area. There's lots of growing areas around here, so we go looking for shards in what would have been old settlements. So we spend our time doing that a lot when we take the dog out, and she's good. She likes to sort of come with us, and she just tootles around while we'll got our heads down in the soil, seeing what we can find. And we have found some really interesting things, like never anything of much value, but that would be really, really nice, wouldn't it? But we never have found anything. But I thought, well, we keep our heads down enough, one day, you never know, we might find our fortune. So here's Inches Lane. We'll just cut this as I go along, and little chatette. So yeah, we went across the piece of wasteland this morning, and we didn't find anything today. But yesterday we found like shards of an old cooking vessel. But Matt thinks it might have been. He wasn't sure if it was medieval or whether it was Roman. I mean, he knows. Like, you can just look at a piece of pottery. This is how nerdy he is. And he will know exactly what era it's from, and he'll be able to tell you. Lots of people go to the pottery to ask his advice on pots that they've got, and he can pretty much tell them straight off. He absolutely knows his stuff. He's one of those, you know, those people that specialise in these things. And usually when people specialise in something, it's because they're ultra nerdy about their subject matter, and he is one of them. So we did find, well, I found this piece of pot yesterday, and I was like, look at this, it's got a foot on it, and it was quite a big foot on the base of this pot, and then there was some shards around it that looked like it had been used for cooking, and they were sort of all burned. So he put them in his pocket to take them home so he could study them more, and he washed them up and put them on the side, and this is how it gets at our house. Like we have lots and lots of pottery shards in little bowls, and oh lordy, he collects them. But that's his little thing. He likes the history of everything. So yes, we went back to the spot today, but we didn't find anything at all. It's just full of flint. It's really, really bizarre. You'd think, like, being on grounds where there was an old abbey, there would be loads and loads of pottery. And there's like some in the surrounding areas. We found lots of different pieces. But yeah, in the spot that you would most likely think that there would be loads of it, there's nothing. It's just flint and stones, like it would have been an old riverbed or the ocean bed. We did find some pieces of oyster shells, which, I mean, the Romans used to eat the oysters, but so did the medieval. So from the medieval period, they were there then. So I don't know. It's very interesting to have a look, but yeah, it's a bit disappointing when you get this patch of land that they've just dug over and it hasn't been dug over, I mean, in years and years, and we didn't find anything. So yes, anyway, now you know what I do in my spare time. Other than making soap, then I like to do that. But I mean, it's just nice to be out, you know, it's nice to be outside and do these things. So that's what we've been doing this morning. And then this afternoon I've got to go and make a visit to an old boss of mine because he wants some soap. So we shall do the social distancing thing, and I'm going to drop him off some soaps in a box on his doorstep. And then this afternoon I am going to plant up some more seeds. I've got some more basil I want to grow. So we've been growing lots of things in the garden, but when I started my herbs off this year, I didn't put, I'll just cut this one as well. I didn't put many out there, and I need more because the amount of salad that we eat and the amount of herbs that we get through in salads and in cooking is absolutely stupid. But I get through a ton of basil and a ton of coriander. So I'm going to grow some more of that, I think. I just bought a new bag of compost. So at the moment we are going to look, like when the lockdown is done, we're going to look into our mortgage and see how much more we can borrow so that we can move. So we can have a bigger garden space, because we enjoy that, you know, more than anything else. We enjoy our garden and we want more space because where we live is so small and very limiting. But we shall see. You know I want that house in the countryside, don't you? Well, we're going to look, see what's a possibility, and it might become a reality. It will become a reality. That's what we should say, isn't it? From studying this law of attraction. It will become a reality that we will get what we want, you know. Don't get me wrong, I'm not after a mansion or anything like that. I just want a place where we have a garden that's big enough for us to grow the things we want to grow and to have a view. That would be nice, because where I am at the moment, it's just concrete jungle. We're surrounded by other buildings, like from every angle, that was just surrounded by people and buildings, and I'm kind of over it, you know. I'm kind of over it. I want some peace and quiet. I'd rather have wildlife than people. I know there's lots of you out there like that. I like people, I like interacting with people, but you know, like when I'm at home, I want minimal noise and minimal interaction with others. I just, once I'm behind closed doors, that's it. That's my little life. Anyway, here's some more Inches Lane for you to see. It's very nice. So yes, that's my day set out for today, and I should do a bit of cooking later. And I might make us a Bakewell tart. I might do one of those because they're an easy one. I use the Mary Berry recipe for Bakewell tart because hers is really easy and it really, really turns out good every time. So I might do that as well today. I've got a bit of hay fever back, so whatever pollen is in the air today is giving me a bit of a... Yeah, it's just not very nice. I don't like getting hay fever. I don't usually get like the runny eyes and the itchy nose and all that. I get postnasal drip, which is just foul, and I'm constantly feeling like I need to clear my throat, and I just don't like it. So I've been taking some herbal remedies, and I've been picking elderflower and making tea because that's supposedly really good for hay fever. God, I'm rambling in this video. So I've been drying my elderflowers and I've been making tea from those. It's actually really nice. It tastes really nice. I'll show you my little flowers. And my cloth that I've got here, I just put them in some kitchen paper. I'll just bring them over. They're just in kitchen paper. Bring them over to the side here. Use that. And there you go. So there's a ton of them on there. I can't touch them because I've got my soapy gloves on. But I'm going to take these home and just put them in my jar. So yeah, that's my elderflowers that I've been using. And it really does actually help to soothe the throat. And it's supposedly a good remedy for a sore throat or if you get catarrh. Well, it's not really catarrh, but it is mentioned that it can help with hay fever symptoms. So I'll just keep sipping on my tea that I've picked myself, which is a lovely thing to do. So if you've got elderflower growing where you live, go and pick some. It's actually really nice. Okay, I've rambled enough. So that's Inches Lane. I'll leave pictures at the end for you and I will see you later. Ta-ta.